Hi and welcome back to my channel. My name is Anne-Sophie, I'm a knitter from Belgium, and we have quite a lot to catch up on for today's podcast. So because today's podcast is covering both my June and my July knitting, we have 3 finished objects to cover, 1 whip you know of, 4 new cast-ons, and a few acquisitions. So let's get right into it with what I am wearing. This is immediately my first finished object, and this is the Louisa top by Maria Sverden. She had a Louisa knit-along ongoing for both the top and the skirt pattern she has. It's a matching set situation. She had the knit along going in July, and when I saw she was going to do that, I just immediately, impulsively cast on this knit. If you're a regular viewer, you know that I am currently in my lace era. I've been discovering easy and less easy kinds of lace knitting. This one was absolutely brilliant to be doing. It's just a few rows of a repeat, and to get this feather and fan look and stitch pattern, all you need to be able to do is yarn overs and decreases. So this is actually a pretty straightforward and easy lace pattern because you knit it bottom up in the round. You just go up until you've reached the point where the back is high enough, and then you bind off the back, you do some decreases for the armholes, you knit this bit, and then you just start the edges and the straps. I knit my straps a tad too long, so you might notice them falling down during the video. Apologies for that. I'm gonna go in and fix that as soon as possible. Speaking of fixing, I have learned that as a very distracted girly, I tend to make a lot of mistakes in lace knitting, and to deal with that, I was so happy to come across a course on Craftsy, who are also so kindly sponsoring today's video. Craftsy is your online resource for all things creative, and that includes not only knitting and crochet, but also quilting, sewing, baking, cake decorating. I even think they have woodworking. Any kind of crafty thing you would like to try out, you can find courses on Craftsy. The course I took on Craftsy to get a bit more confident in my lace knitting skills is called Save Our Stitches, Fixing Lace Knitting Mistakes by Laura Nelkin. It's come in so handy because aside from this Louisa top, I've also been knitting an all-over complicated lace sweater. I've been making so many mistakes in that knit that this course has been so helpful. It teaches you how to do lace surgery, which I've had to do a few times already, so I just haven't had to frog any of the lace I've been knitting. If you want to learn more about fixing your lace knitting mistakes, or if you want to take any of the other crafty courses they have to offer, the first 1,000 of you to click the link in my video description box will get the chance of receiving a full premium membership to Craftsy for only $1.49. This is a membership for 1 year, and this is also only valid for new community members. So click the link in my video description or scan the QR code on the screen to join Craftsy today. Thanks again to Craftsy for sponsoring this video, and let's get back to my finished object. The yarn I used for this project is one of my favorite summer yarns, and I held it single for the first time. This is sandnes garn tynn in the color kitt or putty. I have held this double twice to knit my first and second blouse number 1 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. I love the way that fabric works out, and I held it single because it's a fingering weight for the first time on 3mm needles. It was an absolute joy to work with. It is quite splitty, but it's so nice and dry to the touch, and this is gonna sound really weird, but it smells really nice to work with. I don't know what it is, but me and plant-based yarns, I love the smell they give off. Maybe it's like because my hand cream gets in there, I don't know what it is, but I loved working with it. It's so light and soft and drapey. I think the cotton in this blend makes it so soft. The tynn is a blend of cotton, viscose, and linen, which just gives you a wonderful marriage of fibers. Also, when I'm wearing it now, it's so hot here. I'm actually quite sweaty, but still I don't feel this on my skin. It just feels like a very drapey, light, airy garment to have on, and I really want to knit the matching skirt to wear in the summer to feel like chic and cute but also not sweaty, if you know what I mean. I think I'll be knitting a lot of summer garments in tynn held single in the future because this is amazing. And look at the drape. I mean, how nicely does this drape? Because it's a fully plant-based yarn, it does get quite stretchy, which is why I should have accounted for that when knitting these straps, because look at how long this is getting already. I'm not even stretching it out, I'm just holding it. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna I'm gonna shorten those, but I think it's not too bad because I sewed them to the back a little bit too much to the side, so I can sew them in a little bit closer to the center of the back to make the top fit me a little bit better. I love the way this top stretches out in the front. This is a folded edge, not a double knitted one, whereas the edge under the armholes and in the back is double knitted. But I think it makes the fabric stretch beautifully and makes it sit like the perfect square neck. Of course, it adds to the straps falling down more easily, but you know, it's an easy fix. I just have to loosen them up and then frog a few rows and stitch them back to the back of the garment. Such an easy fix. Totally fine. Now, I was worried with this being white and yarn over lace, so being gapey and holy, that it would be hard to find a bra to wear underneath this, especially with how much to the side these straps are sitting. It doesn't look like the most bra-friendly top, but luckily I found the best bra to wear with this at H&M. So now that I found the perfect bra for lace tops, I can knit all of the lace summer tops my heart desires, because I mean, how good does this look? You can't even see that I'm wearing a bra. This is actually insane. Also because the color match with my skin tone is perfect. So, I mean, that's just personal to me. But so what I found, it's a strapless bra. It's just a regular strapless bra, balconette. But what it has is this extra layer of fabric over top, which makes it kind of look like a bandeau top. I feel so perfectly covered up. You can't see it underneath my top. The girls are in place. I feel secure. I'm happily embracing the fact that I got a smaller chest and that I can find bras to wear with this easily. But yeah, strongly recommend this bra for this lace top. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that. My next finished object is also knit with tynn but held double. This is my blouse number 1. This is the second one I've knit. The blouse number 1 is a pattern by My Favorite Things Knitwear. It's a contiguous yoke with slightly flared bellish sleeves, and whenever I knit it, I have to knit it with 4mm needles to get gauge, which is I think 2 sizes smaller than the pattern recommends. Yeah, even though I hit gauge, it does end up fitting me a bit more tightly than most people's projects seem to be fitting them, so I don't know exactly what's going on with that, but I don't mind because I love the way this fits me. I do think if I end up knitting a third one, I'll knit it one size up to have a bit of a more loosely fitting one as well, but for now I'm so happy to have 2 blouse number 1s that fit me the way these ones do. With this iteration, I do think I'll need to go back and cast off the body again because it's curling up a tiny bit, but I didn't have enough yarn, so I knit it really cropped. That means that when the body curls up, it doesn't fit me that well because it's too cropped, whereas my other version is the same amount of cropped, but because the bind off on the body is a lot tighter, it fits me a little bit better and it stays nicely in place. So yeah, I want this one to fit me like that as well, so I'll go back in and fix that. The color of tynn I used for this one is the color rosa lavendel or pink lavender, and I think it is absolutely stunning. I love this color so much. If you hear rustling and bustling, this is because my cat is sleeping on a cardboard box instead of her beautiful princess cat tower over here, as cats do, so you might hear her rumbling, rustling a little bit and moving around. I actually don't have too much to say about this project except for it's such a quick and fun knit and I love it so much, which is obviously why I've knit it a second time. Yeah, great success. I recommend this pattern to everyone. I mean, everyone and their mother has knit a blouse number 1. I think so many people have knit 2 of them, so that just speaks for itself, doesn't it? Also, just look at that drape. It's amazing. This is so good. I love this yarn, I love this pattern, I love this project. Chef's kiss. Look who's here. Hi, Lila. Are you gonna nap? Do you want to sit on my lap? Do you want to lie over there? You just want to look at pigeons, don't you? Perfect. Now, my third and final finished object is this pair of flowerknot socks. They're finally finished. This is a pattern by Laura Moratz. I modified it ever so slightly by not doing any ribbing on the cuff. It flares a little bit, but I think it looks adorable nonetheless. It features this beautiful cable pattern, a gusset, heel flap, heel construction, and I don't know what kind of toe it features because I knit this on the go, and I just went with the Petite Knit Sunday Socks toe pattern that I know by heart. I kind of regret it. I think I should have gone with probably what the pattern suggests, whatever it suggests, but yeah, maybe for my next pair. I have one regret as well, which is I knit the second size of this pattern. So this pattern comes in 3 sizes. I knit the second size, and with each extra size, the pattern adds an extra cable repeat to the cuff. Now I think of course that's accommodating for the extra length you get on the foot with every bigger size. Now I just have pretty wide feet, so I knit the size 2 for the width and not for the length of the sock, because I knit the sock to the length of my own foot. I tried it on as I was going. So now the cuff is like a bit too long for the foot of the sock. I feel like when I fold it double, you can see it sticks out just the tiniest bit, and my other socks that fit me really well don't do that. Like I have some here for an example. Like, do you see how these are just slightly too long? I might be exaggerating, but like even when I put them on, I feel that the cuff is just too long. So if I would knit these again, or when I will knit these again, I'll be omitting one repeat on the cuff, I think. Aside from that, 0 comments on this pattern. Oh no, 1 comment. My friend Victoria, or Blank Stitches, also on Instagram and YouTube, also knit these socks, and she knit them after she'd knit the mittens with this cable stitch pattern, so the flower knot mittens. Even though these patterns have the exact same cabling going on, the pattern for the mittens has a much nicer, a more clear, more readable cable chart. So Victoria kindly sent me the cable chart from the mitten pattern, and I replaced the chart in the sock pattern with the ones from the mittens because it's just easier to read. But yeah, after using it twice, it was so easy to memorize that I didn't have to use it again because, well, you can just see what you're doing and it's pretty easy to memorize as well. It's not the most complicated cable pattern, even though it does look quite complicated or quite advanced. It's really nothing crazy. So yeah. Love these socks, love this pattern. The yarn I used is my favorite yarn for DK weight socks. It's officially my favorite. This is Sandnes Garn Perfect. I used the color white. I had a lot of this left over from the leg warmers I knit for my sister last winter. I obviously haven't worn these yet because it's pretty warm here, but I have a pair that I finished in January and that I have worn to death. I've washed and depilled these a few times, but this is what they're looking like. Honestly, for how much I've been wearing these, that's not too bad. There's a little bit of felting going on at the heel and at the toe, but seriously, these look amazing. I've been wearing these like since January. Every time it's cold enough to put on some hand knit socks, I am wearing these. It's absolutely mind-blowing to me how these still look so good. They look a little bit less fluffy, but that's it. I also think these melange gray colored ones were never as fluffy looking as these white ones are. On camera, they look like they have quite the halo, but they don't really. It's just a really sturdy, nice yarn. I'm excited to see whether the white ones will hold up as well as these ones have. And I have some more in the color Eucalyptus. Oh, by the way, this pattern, if you're curious, these are the I'm Ecstatic socks by Cool Stitches. Strongly recommend these as well. But yeah, I'm a huge lover of DK weight cabled knit socks. As soon as it's cool enough, I'll pop some of these on, so I'll definitely be knitting more with this yarn and either of these patterns in the future. And I think everyone should, because look at them. This is so cute, and this knits up so fast. This was the most fun commute knit, and yeah, only great things to say about this, honestly. Also, I can hear myself talking, and I was ill last week. If I still sound a little bit congested, I'm very sorry about that. I actually filmed this video like 4 days ago when I was still quite ill, and I had accidentally muted my microphone. So I am so glad that I'm refilming this because I don't think you guys would have wanted to hear my voice 4 days ago if you find this annoying. Yay for me being more healthy a little bit today. I don't know. Okay, so on to my whips. My first whip is the first sleeve of my Madeleine sweater. Look at her. She's looking so cute. This does mean I have finished the body. Ta-da! This is she. Let me just try her on real quick. Ta-da! She is so unbelievably cute. So the Madeleine sweater is a drop shoulder all over complicated lace knit sweater. So I'm currently on the sleeve. The pattern tells you to do 4 lace repeats before finishing the shaping of the sleeve and attaching it to the body. My friend Freya, who finished hers already, she's knitting the exact same size and the exact same yarn and the exact same color. She knit the sleeves to length, but they were much too long, and I can see how, like, this sleeve is going to be quite trumpety and wide. I don't mind it, but yeah, I'm 3 repeats in, so I'm gonna need 4 and a little bit more. The sweater is gonna stretch like that. So yeah, I think I will omit one of the repeats because it's gonna be too long for me as well. I'd prefer to have a sleeve that's like this over a sleeve that fits me like this because, well, I won't ever be able to wear this comfortably because, like, when I'll be moving around, my sleeve will be dipping and everything, and I'm quite sure this sleeve is gonna sag a little bit and grow in length. Okay, it's getting quite hot. I'm taking this off. I do hope the stockinette folded neckline that I'm going to be adding to this is going to make this neckline cinch in a little bit. I'm quite certain it will, but I don't like how deep it is right now. Maybe if I knit it and it's still too wide, I can kind of go in and try my hand at it again with picking up less stitches to make it like cinch in a little bit better, you know? But yeah, I've been having so much fun with this. The longer you're knitting on this lace chart, the more natural it starts feeling to you as well, and the quicker it goes by, which is absolutely lovely. I hope I can finish this within a month because we're going to a wedding, and if the weather's bad, I'd love to wear this over my dusty blue dress that I have to wear to the wedding. So yeah, that's this pattern. Wait, no, I haven't talked about the yarn yet. I'm using Knitting for Olive yarn. So this is a pattern by Pernille Larsen for Knitting for Olive. She's one of the people behind Knitting for Olive. And I'm using their cotton merino held double. It's the color Elephant Blue. I really wanted to try knitting a sweater in cotton merino to see if it would be more summer proof. I thought using it for lace would be a good idea because lace is also more summer proof for a sweater, but I kind of regret doing so because, yeah, this is gonna be a really drapey, really loose sweater, and the 70% cotton and 30% merino in the yarn will probably not be very bouncy or supportive of the structure of the lace. So I'm assuming this sweater is going to stretch a lot with wear. But, you know, it's kind of the price you have to pay, I guess, for knitting a sweater with a summer yarn. But I would be interested to see how a lace sweater with merino or wool would hold up and how different it would look. This is entirely knit on 4.5mm needles, and I actually hit gauge for once. There was a period of time where I was a really, really loose knitter, and I don't know what's been going on, but I feel like I've recovered or something because I keep hitting gauge with the suggested needle size for things, and sometimes even knitting too tightly. Maybe I'm like super duper stressed with the final year of my PhD starting. I don't know what's going on with that. My gauge has just been weird lately. Yeah, that's my Madeleine sweater. I really hope to have it finished by my next episode. I have also finished half of a sock that I cast on. I'm knitting these with a free pattern on Ravelry called the Broken Seed Stitch Socks. This is more of a pattern recipe than a pattern because they really only tell you how to do this stitch, and then the recipe tells you to use whatever your favorite recipe is for the cuff and the heel and the toe. This is my first ever sock using a contrast heel and doing some kind of color work. Actually, it's not color work because you can see on the sole that it's just stripes, so you change yarn color every row. How you get to this look, oh, by the way, my joins are not looking too great, although my joins do look a lot better on the bottom of the sock. I hope my second sock is gonna look better. But what you do to achieve this look, essentially you do broken seed stitch, which is you knit one row with the contrasting color, and then you go in with a knit one, purl one row with your color changing yarn. Then you do another knit row with your main color, or whatever, I don't know, with the solid color. And then you go purl one, knit one with color changing yarn. So essentially you're doing seed stitch, which is knit one, purl one in one row, purl one, knit one in the other. But the seed stitch rows are broken up by knit rows with the solid color yarn. I've cast on the second sock, but this is where I'm at. I haven't been knitting on it a lot. I had a lot of work things going on locally in my own city, so I wasn't commuting for a bit, and now I'm on holiday, so I don't reckon I'll be commuting a lot in the future, and we're going on holiday to France, but I can't see myself really knitting on a woolly sock in the south of France, if you know what I mean. I think I'm gonna bring a fun little summer top to knit on while on vacation. The yarns I'm using and combining are filcolana arwetta that I had lying around in the color Delicate Orchid. I had one skein of this, so I was just trying to figure out what I could knit with it, and I realized it looks really nice with the zauberball I got a year and a half ago at a yarn fair. This is the zauberball by schoppel-wolle in the color lockstoff. I think combined, it kind of looks beautifully like a sunset in the summer. I don't really like the kind of urine-y yellow that's in there, but I love all of the other colors in there, so I'm gladly taking the ugly greenish yellow along for the ride. If you remove the greenish yellow though, it becomes even more beautiful. But, well, the greenish yellow is there. We can't ignore it, but I'd like to. I am kind of dreading when I get to this bit of greenish yellow. I don't know, it's like ochre on camera, but in real life it looks pretty greenish. It's not my favorite, but I love all of the other colors in this ball of yarn, so still see this as a win. My next cast on is something I've been wanting to knit since last summer. I've had the yarn in stash since last summer, and that is a second camisole number 9 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. I'm actually like nearly there on this one. This is how much I've used of my second ball of yarn. I'm knitting it up with cotton merino in the color Purple Elephant. This is a top-down summer top without waist decreases and with these gorgeous stockinette folded edges that are not really looking like anything on mine currently because I've knit them, but I've not folded them down yet, so it looks kind of bleh. But yeah, it's going. Whoop, doop-a-doop. Oh, it's going to look more like this. Ta-da! Beautiful. I'm knitting this together with my friend Victoria from Blank Stitches because she was also obsessed with this color. It's Lilla Elefant or Purple Elephant. This is a cotton merino colorway by Knitting for Olive that is no longer in production. So if you find some at a yarn store, you're quite lucky. Victoria was lucky enough to find some of this yarn, and now we're both knitting the exact same top at the same time. We've been doing some little FaceTime calls, yapping and knitting on our top together, which is why this has been flying off the needles. Because when we yap, we tend to yap for a really long time, and we're knitting the whole time as well. I remember this knit taking a long time when I knit it for the first time, which is like 3 years ago. So it just goes to show how I've become so much of a faster knitter recently. I spent, I think, a whole Saturday on these edges, whereas last time I knit this top, I think I spent multiple days knitting these edges, so that's fun. So the top itself you knit up on 3mm needles. I'm using 2.75 likke needles because that's what I hit gauge with, or at least the gauge is I think supposed to be 30 stitches, and with the cotton merino I hit 29.5 stitches for gauge on 2.75mm needles. And with how stretchy this yarn is, I think it's gonna be better to have it knit up on like half a stitch too tight of a gauge than on a loose gauge, because well, it's gonna stretch a lot and it doesn't have a lot of give with the 70% cotton in here. I have noticed some rowing out with this yarn, held single and held double, and for lace it's been so forgiving. I've made so many mistakes. I've dropped down stitches like at least 5 rows down and not had any issues with the way my lace looks. It just always looks beautiful and perfect and like there's nothing going on. The stockinette looks immaculate, even unblocked, so I don't know what's going on with this yarn held single for it to have like uneven, awkward tension and rowing out. I don't know if you can see that, but like especially in the bits that were knit flat, I have a lot of rowing out. The tension looks equally bad on the 2mm needles. I hope this blocks out. If not, it's fine because the stitches are tiny, so it doesn't look too bad from afar. But yeah, I do think this color is gonna look so good on me. I was scared for a second that it was gonna wash me out, but now I don't think it will. Usually light grays wash me out, but I thought the purple in the gray might be like the perfect trick to make a light gray suit me. Let me know what you think. I think it's cute. Can't wait to finish this. I have quite some centimeters to go on the body. Oh look, I'm using the stitch marker, of course, Victoria gave me for my birthday. And look how perfectly it matches this yarn color. It's actually so cute. I'm also using a progress keeper that I got with one of my acquisitions. This is a gift the Etsy shop added along to my order. So sweet. I'll tell you more about that later. But spoiler alert, I placed an order at Hand Dyed Harmony on Etsy. You should all check her out. That's it for my cami number 9 really. I think, oh no, that's not it. Victoria and I are both modifying the pattern. What I don't like about my first iteration of the summer top is that the straps are a bit narrow. I think they come only down to like here. Well, I have other summer tops in the same kind of fit from Zara that come all the way over here, which fit me a lot more nicely and are also just the tad more bra friendly. So I cast on, instead of the amount of stitches that it tells you to cast on at the top of the strap, I cast on 10 stitches, and I accounted for that when starting, or not starting, the increasing for the armhole. So I knit more rows of stockinette and omitted some increases. I think it looks really good and I think it's gonna fit me really well. I haven't tried it on yet, but I can't wait to compare it to my other one because that's knit in Knitting for Olive Merino and with slightly less wide shoulder bits. Also, Victoria's knitting this with decreases on the body, but I like the way my merino one fits me without decreases on the body, so I didn't think I needed them for this one. But then I looked at my square neck camisole that I knit a few years ago in this same yarn, and it became so wide and stretchy that now I've been thinking, oh, maybe I should have done decreases on the body, but too late for that. We'll see how I like it, and if I don't like it, I'll know what to do for my third iteration, because I don't know what it is, but since this year, I've really been making patterns that I love so much, again, because I wear those garments all of the time and I just really feel like I need extra ones of them. I've made a second cumulus blouse, I've made a second blouse number 1, and now I'm making a second cami number 9. I'm so sure I'm gonna make a second one of this top, because also, oh, I didn't say that about this top. Okay. This was the cami number 9. Let's quickly circle back to my Louisa top. What's so amazing about this top is that it's originally meant to have stripes. So every single little thingy you see here would be a different color. And I only used like, how many grams? I think 1 skein of tynn, and then I had, for my second skein, I had 21 grams left over. So that's 79 grams of tynn that I used, which is just such a tiny amount of yarn. That's literally less than this amount of yarn. And if you have like leftovers, you could knit your leftover summer yarns into a beautiful tank top or skirt. So I think in the future, when I have like tynn or knitting for olive yarn left over, I'll for sure be working them together into beautiful, cute striped versions of this top. The pattern even lets you know how many grams of a yarn you need for 1 row repeat for each size. You can perfectly use this pattern to get rid of some of your summer yarn scraps. So nice. I love when patterns lend themselves perfectly to scrap yarn incorporation and getting rid of your scraps. Now let's get into my next cast on. I started the Amelia blouse by Solvara Knitwear. This is how much I have. It's also a bottom-up feather and fan lace knit with color striping, but unlike the Louisa top, it doesn't have any purl rows. I'm knitting it in this blue, purple, pink gradient. I bought 6 colors of filcolana merci, which I've really been wanting to try out. It's a 50-50 blend of cotton and superwash merino. It's very soft, very light, wonderful to be working with, really good for lace also, but I'm a bit disappointed in the colors. So this knit is supposed to be an all over lace feather and fan ripply stitch pattern with, I think, a contiguous shoulder. So you knit it bottom up, you knit the body and the sleeves, and then you attach them and knit the yoke, I think. I was so excited to cast this on. I'm still so excited by this pattern, but I'm not feeling my color choices or the color combination. I bought the yarn online. I didn't go into the store to check it out. And when I looked at these colors online, they seemed to form the perfect gradient. In real life, however, I don't think they do. I don't know what it is, but it's not sparking joy for me. It's not looking like me, and I don't want to spend tens of hours knitting this up when I don't like the look of it. You might find me crazy, like I know it looks kind of pretty. It's just not what I wanted it to look like or what I expected it to look like. So I think I might have to let this specific idea go, frog it, and use the yarn for something different. I think each color looks really cute together though. Like I could knit the cutest Louisa top with either the purple, the pink, or the blue combination, or like a striped baby sweater. So I think I'm definitely going to be using the blues, the purples, or the pinks together for a summer top, for a baby knit, for whatever. But I think the 3 colors or 6 colors together, they're just not giving me the gradient I was looking for. And I really wanted a gradient for this top. This is just, it's pretty, but it's not my vibe. So I think I'm just gonna have to let this idea go, knit something else with the yarn, and then get other yarn to knit the Amelia blouse in the fall, in the spring, whenever I have new color inspo. I might need to get the yarn for this pattern at an actual yarn store to see whether the gradient actually works. It's cute enough to finish, but this pattern is going to be so much work. Also, even if you just look at all of the ends I'm going to need to be weaving in, this is just so much work, and for something that I'm not sure I'm going to like, it's like not entirely worth it for me, if that makes sense. So this is a huge pity, but I think I'm gonna be frogging this. I was so excited about this. I'm actually really sad, but yeah, it's not giving what I wanted it to be giving, and I think it's smarter to frog than to keep going and not wear it. I think I can get a lot nicer things out of this, like baby knits. Maybe this could be cute for a baby blanket if I add some white in the middle. Wouldn't be as cute as I want it to be. Also, these needle stoppers are one of the things I ordered from the Hand Dyed Harmony Etsy store. They're so stinking cute. I love this so much. I'm definitely in my needle stopper era now that I'm knitting so much lace though. These things have saved my knitting many a time so far, especially with having so many whips all the time. Now, the last time I filmed this video when my mic was malfunctioning, the thing I'm going to show you right now was actually a yarn acquisition, and a few days later, now, I am showing you a finished yoke. I finally got Knitting for Olive, merino, and soft silk mohair in the color Dusty Banana. I've been obsessed with this color and wanting to knit something for it since like last spring, but it took me a long time to figure out what I wanted to knit specifically. I wanted to knit the perfect cardigan. I found not one, but 2 patterns that are going to help me do so. Wait, I just dropped my yarn, one sec. Got it. I am using the base of the Petite Knit Copenhagen cardigan, which is a raglan. If you know the pattern, you'll immediately notice I have not knitted the neck edge, the ribbing, and I am not doing the button band as I go because I will be swapping out the Copenhagen cardigan finishings, which are 1x1 ribbing, for the finishings on the Cookie the Knitter Diane cardigan pattern. I'd love to knit the Diane cardigan pattern, but I want to knit that with either a cashmere or a mohair, whereas the Copenhagen cardigan with the raglan looks a lot nicer in my opinion with the merino and the mohair held together. Part of the reason I'm not knitting the Diane cardigan in Dusty Banana mohair is because this mohair by itself does not look yellow enough to me. It looks kind of beigey, kind of oatmealish, whereas if you hold the merino with it, it becomes a lot more yellow, especially next to the merino. You can notice just how beigey it is, whereas the merino has these beautiful greenish tones in it. It has like a greenish hue, which I think is absolutely beautiful. So yeah, I'm just knitting a Copenhagen cardigan with Diane cardigan finishings for now, and then I'm going to knit probably a dusty blue cashmere or mohair version of the Diane cardigan, which is, by the way, a drop shoulder at a later stage. I have beautiful buttons to use with this, but I don't know where I hid them, so you'll have to wait to see them in my next knitting episode because I was too lazy to look for them. If you want to see them, you can also see them in, I think, episode 10 with a picture of my heart chain sweater whip and a lot of tiny hanks of hand-dyed yarn. But yeah, so why have I knit so much of this already, you may ask? When I realized my video had failed, I also realized that I wouldn't be able to film again immediately because I overstrained my voice. I was so ill all of last week, and I thought I would be fine filming while ill, which was just so silly. I still sound a bit congested, but yeah, I put too much strain on my voice filming for an hour and a half the last time I sat down to talk to you. I don't know, I was devastated that that video failed. I was devastated that I was ill and that I couldn't try again. I just plopped down on my couch, grabbed this yarn, and decided to cheer myself up by casting on this whip. Oh, the mohair is itching me already. Knitting a mohair whip in summer is kind of silly, but it's been thundering and like only 20 degrees Celsius all week, and I was ill, so I've been just really enjoying knitting on something woolly again. Yeah, I've actually been having so much fun with this. I love a simple petite knit raglan when I'm ill. Last time I was ill, in April, I knit the yoke of a cumulus blouse, which is also a 1-stitch raglan by Petite Knit, so I'm sensing a pattern here. But yeah, this is looking so stinking cute. I can't wait to wear this by the end of summer. Right now, all of this mohair feels like it's just razors on my skin, as my friend Victoria would say, but it's so pretty. It's so cute. I can't wait to wear it with my Louisa top. Look how cute that looks. Yeah, I don't know. I really felt like I needed another fun colored cardigan for my cardigan collection. By now I have a dusty pink one, a dusty purple one. This next cardigan is gonna be dusty yellow, and I think the cardigan after that is gonna have to be a dusty blue too. Oh no, I have a Rime Frost pale blue one, like turquoisey aqua one. So yeah, my next one's probably gonna be dusty blue or darker purple, but we're working on the yellow right now. And I don't know, I'm having so much fun with this. I'm knitting a size medium. Usually Petite Knit would recommend a small for my bust size, and I usually knit a small for my bust size, but the size small in the Diane cardigan that would be suggested for me has the circumference that the size medium in the Copenhagen cardigan has. And I would love the positive ease of the Diane cardigan for this Copenhagen cardigan, because this is supposed to be a pretty fitted cardigan, but I want it to be just the tiniest bit more loose. So yeah, I'm knitting it for a little bit of more positive ease, and I think it's gonna be so cute. I'm actually so excited. I can't believe how happy I am to be knitting with woolly wool again. I'm just so getting ready for fall, she says, as she's about to hop on a train to the south of France. I'm ready for fall. I don't know what to say. I'll probably cast on another summer top in France, but you know, gotta love a good wool cardigan. I also didn't think yellow would look cute on me. I just wanted to knit something yellow because I needed to feel the joy and kind of hop on the trend, but also it's supposed to be in my color palette, but in a very cool version. I thought it was like a lie that neutral toned, cool leaning people could look cute in yellow, but why am I looking in the viewfinder and finding that I'm looking kind of cute in yellow? I think it's the greenish hue that this has, but I'm not mad about it. I really like this. So excited. And now I'm gonna put this away because it's scratching me. I'm fine with it scratching my hands while I'm knitting it, but not with it scratching my upper body, you know? Before I put it away, let's get into my acquisitions, because another little thing that Anu from Hand Dyed Harmony added to my order as a little gift are these yellow needle stoppers. They're so stinking cute, and she's so kind for adding— don't look at my pinky, by the way, I was stung by a wasp, but she was so kind for adding this to my order, just like as a sweet little gift. Apparently she does that because she's the sweetest. But yeah, these look so cute with my whip. So cute. Another thing she gifted me along with my order is this adorable little stitch marker. I love it so much. She's the sweetest. But so what I actually ordered are these needle stoppers and the cutest stitch markers in the whole wide world. I use these for the raglan of my yellow cardigan. They're like beautiful pearly white stitch markers with this pearly progress keeper. I've been enjoying these so much. They've been sparking so much joy. I love how they come on like an earring to keep them together. And I also got this other cute set with these pink and these white stitch markers, and then this little campanula flower. I made a bouquet for my partner a few weeks ago with campanula flowers in them, and spontaneously decided that campanulas are my absolute favorite flower going forward. These stitch markers just further solidify that idea for me, because how cute is this tiny little flower? Has a little pearl on the inside and like an additional little tiny green bead. This is not a progress keeper, but an actual stitch marker, so this is perfect for like a raglan or a contiguous knit or something. She has this in white and in purple as well. The cutest little stitch markers. Strongly recommend you go over to Hand Dyed Harmony on Etsy to buy all of the cute notions you can think of, because Anu is so sweet and she deserves all of the hype and all of the sales. She makes the best things. Another person who makes the best things is my partner's sister. She sewed me these project bags for my birthday. They're so cool because they have a lot of space in the bottom, which my other small project bags don't usually have, and I love that. Look at how neatly she sewed the edges as well. Not to mention the attention to detail she put into this. Look at these beautiful lace drawstrings. There's a second one. She sewed me a little set. This one is my absolute favorite. This one has white lace drawstring. So cute. She has an Instagram profile called Handmade by Kika. Definitely go and show her some love over there. Maybe if you send her enough messages that you want to buy her project bags, she might start selling them. I think she should. She's just the sweetest and the kindest ever. I can't. Now my last acquisition is some yarn that I got along with my Dusty Banana yarn from Knitting for Olive, and that is 2 balls of this Dusty Rose yarn, which I desperately want to use either for color work or for a summer top. I think it should be different enough for my skin tone to wear as like a neutral pink summer top. I was thinking another square neck camisole by Garn Slicked, or maybe even a mixed rib cami by Handmade by Florence. I don't know, let me know if you think this is too close to my skin tone for a summer top. I think it could be cute. This is Dusty Rose. Now, that's all that I wanted to talk to you about today. I hope you enjoyed listening to me yap. Thank you so much for staying to the end of this video. I greatly appreciate you giving me your time. Please let me know in the comments what you were knitting on while you were watching this video. I love receiving those comments and engaging with you guys rather than just yapping to a camera. Thanks again to Craftsy for sponsoring today's video. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and get to enjoy some lovely knitting time, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.